Okay.
For some reason it started streaming again, because that happens sometimes. Okay, now we're just recording.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to this episode of QNC After Dark, after a false start, Thomas.
That never happens.
No.
Never, not at all. So, yes, road trip. They were intended to get to Baldur's Gate today. I should have known better.
Yeah.
We had tacos.
No tacos?
Fought a goose.
If you spend all that time building up a creepy inn, paranoid D&D players are going to paranoid D&D.
I don't feel like the creepy inn was the derail of this episode. I just want to be clear.
It happened pretty early on, to be fair.
Yeah.
Power word stun. Oh my god.
Power word stun from a goose.
I'm just really happy that the goose hates Dewey because I'm the only one that did damage to it.
Yeah, but Dewey pissed it off first by throwing his backpack at it.
Everybody does it every once in a while. They throw stuff off of Tensor's floating disk all the time.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sleep storms get really erratic, and then all of your other spells just go haywire, right? That's how it works.
I imagine Dewey has never been like this ever. Like this, you guys have just made him you know what? What if I try and be cool? And it's just
Being up a goose.
I want to impress my friends. Oh no!
I mean, honestly, what started this whole thing was Sabachthani wanting the goose for dinner.
Well, that's the thing. I was the one who made the terrible joke, and so I'm really impressed that I didn't get attacked. Also, clearly being the odd one out of our party of variant humans with normal skills, and then your one 6-foot-tall tiefling with 5-inch platform heels tromping around yelling at everybody. So
who says who says the goose didn't recognize you?
I'm sure the goose recognized me. At this point, everyone fucking recognizes me. She's starting to get a little bit okay.
This was James, this was one of your creepier episodes. And that's saying something.
Creepy? How so?
That goose is strong. I want to know what's inside it.
Oh yeah. That was definitely pretty creepy.
Pretty good line.
Oh man.
I will say, now that people have guessed, I plan to put the goose from the Untitled Goose Game in pretty much since before day one, because because one of the things that I like playing with, and Alondra and I have talked about this, is playing with the L space from Terry Pratchett's writing, where literally anything can travel between libraries. Weird shit happens when you get that many magic books together. And in this instance, there's a goose. That's more than it seems.
This will be the final villain.
Probably.
Yeah.
With the way you guys go, probably.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I will say that for as much as we didn't stay on track with getting to Baldur's Gate, I actually thought this episode was a great follow-up, because last week we had all the weird party conflict that was not necessarily bad, but was very interesting for how disparate we were. And I felt like this was an interesting contrast of we started to really dip into some of people's why they're doing this, why they're here, and what happens when you remove us from, we're in the Library of Candlekeep doing our independent research. That
road trips bring groups together, as was pointed out last week.
Yeah.
Is the episode titled Process Complete?
Probably.
Oh yeah, wait, what were our quotes?
What were our quotes?
I look forward to hearing your book report. Any port in a sleep storm. Don't shove me in any tiny doors. I'm ready to duel this goose. And then another creepy James one, just to assert dominance.
There's a lot of talk of dominance in this particular episode.
If it's dead, we should bring it along for supper. That goose is strong. I want to know what's inside. Process complete. And is it dangerous in the world?
I want to do Is It Dangerous in the World, just because it kind of ties into where y'all are going. Honestly, if I had wanted to keep you guys on track, I would have just been like, you travel for 5 days,
Baldur's
Right.
not
Gate,
much
yeah.
happens. Welcome to Baldur's Gate.
Right.
But
Right.
I really did want to play with the road trip thing because I think we were talking last week about the lack of party cohesion, and with you guys being as experienced as you are with role playing, I was like, give them a chance to just be together.
Yeah.
See what happens.
That's smart.
I think we got to see it.
Because I do foresee people getting distracted in Baldur's Gate.
Running off in all directions, yes, probably.
I'm far less excited.
No haberdasher for my new suit.
I also realized, like, this was a personal character realization that I came to after last week. I think this is the first episode where Sabachthani and Lester have actually like had moments of private interaction that we've seen on screen. And I was like, oh, this is like a weird thing that like we haven't actually addressed, because I know Ezra and I have like created a little bit of backstory here, but we haven't actually seen what they interact like in private. So being able to have at least the brief conversation of like, hey, I have this lead for us, we should let the others in on it, was like, oh, this is a deliberate thing that we should probably do.
Alarms.
Good having you here, James. Go get some sleep before
Bye-bye,
you do
James.
your work thing tomorrow.
All right, James is gone. Here's
Yeah,
all the
well-
things I don't like about him.
We all have to
He's
go. 'cause
actually
we're all gonna
gone.
go. Burp, burp, burp. Now
Yep.
we all shift.
Oh,
well.
But I can
who
do
am I
the,
now?
Yeah,
hey, look, now you can see.
we're probably all in the
a lot
middle
stuff.
of everything. Yeah, it was interesting because you set up something like this in D&D and you're just automatically thinking wandering damage. And so it was kind of fun to have that subverted.
I was looking at various like random encounter charts, and that's what I was periodically rolling for, but none of them fit the theme of what I was going for, and none of them looked interesting. I was like, this is just, and this goes back to what I said in the very first of these After Darks. It's just combat for the sake of combat.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I really, really fucking hate that. So I would much rather give you guys, something creepy to play off of that make you come together to be like, we're going to circle the wagons and figure out what's going on, than I would, forcing you into a fight.
Weird 30-year-old Easter egg. I have never once in any D&D game taken a watch.
Really?
I just always decide my characters aren't going to take a watch. Malcolm never did. My bard never did. And like all the way going back, it was just, you pick something weird, make it a character trait.
That's fair.
It's funny too, because I have another game where we have one elf in the party, and so the deal is we've got two characters who take watches 1 and 2, and then the elf trances for 4 hours and then takes watches 3 and 4, because we have a character that has a negative wisdom modifier and can't roll above a 1 on perception, which is a natural 0 for them. And so that's the rule, is like, you're just not allowed to take watch. The one time we let him take watch, he literally got stabbed in his sleep. And so,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we contemplated something like that with the Foxy Irregulars, but Andraste made it pretty clear pretty early on that she was not going to be entirely the camp mother. So she was like, nope, even if I'm awake as well, everyone's taking a watch, damn it.
it's fair. It's fair.
Which is really even more motherly than the other way.
Well, yes.
I'm going to teach you to be responsible.
Yeah.
I want to have to be solely responsible for these idiots she's traveling with, even though she was really kind of solely responsible for them.
It happens.
Yeah.
My gosh. So tomorrow is Carbon Gray.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to play with the guys again.
It's a totally different system. It's a D6 system, like from Star Wars.
Oh, I was going to ask what type of system they were using.
They call it magnetic.
Wait,
So
is it?
you get a wild dot, like there's one of your dice is always a wild. And if if it's a 6, something happens. If it's a 1, something happens. I don't know. I got the quick start guide.
Okay,
like
in
2
what
days ago, and I'm
universe?
trying to...
In what universe is 51 pages a quick start?
So are the guys?
I took pages out of it.
Are you running this, Thomas, or is this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna run it.
I'm not fucking running this.
I don't know if we've in the past we've had like people who were
Sure.
Yeah,
wanted to sell their Kickstarter and
yeah. So this was, I what the heck? We'll talk about it now. Like it's halfway through their Kickstarter, and I think that they thought it would be doing much better because it was like I'm sure it was a blast to a bunch of streamers who was like, hey, we're halfway through a 30-day Kickstarter. Do you want to run something?
Yeah,
so.
There's a whole weird world of like the science of Kickstarters of like the first week is always great and then it slows and then it's when people get the you set the reminder and then you get it again and so you're always looking for things in that middle to kind of pop a couple numbers.
Would have been nice if they would have sent us this 2 weeks ago so I could have actually read it for more than a day before we play on stream.
It probably was finished writing yesterday or something.
I mean, to be fair, like they were funded in 24 hours and they are definitely they're what is it? I can't math. They're like they've made a good amount over their goal. So if they were, this is also a science of Kickstarter thing because I've worked on social media for a lot of Kickstarters and
humble brag.
Like it's not a humble brag. It's I should have gotten paid for the amount of work that I've done for other people's Kickstarters.
Right. So it's not a good humble brag.
No, it's a fuck you, pay me. But like if you are counting on making, like if you're setting your goal at this, but you're counting on making this, you're doing your Kickstarter wrong. Is a thing. And I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm not trying to cast aspersions. I'm just saying like that is a common mistake that I see made, especially in the tabletop gaming realm, which is very unfortunate because there's so many good systems that just need to price themselves at what they're worth.
I owe Andrea my cabbages. Damn it. I never paid for the dice that I took the very first, like when she was there.
Really?
Oh, dare.
I gotta PayPal her.
I mean, that's fine. I think I paid her
on
double
video,
for
so
my
you
dice,
definitely need to.
Okay, on that bombshell.
Yeah, I'll just admit that I'm a deadbeat, and
as you do. Well,
if my Kickstarter had done better.
Oh, shade.
I have no Kickstarter.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of QNC After Dark. We had a lot of fun in this episode. None of that was planned. None of it. Lucy!
Yay.
So I was entirely making things up off of the cuff, and it was fun. I see why Ezra does it.
A lot easier than preparing stuff.
Yes, but then trying to remember what you said afterwards is the problem.
That's why it's great when we record these things. You just go back and watch and make your notes later.
True enough.
I should try that.
Right. So
Who has time to go back?
Yeah, I don't watch this crap.
So that's why I'm the one who clips everything. And Laura now. I saw that Laura went in and clipped the good moments too. Thank you for
Laura
joining
is
us.
like the social media queen too. She's like tagging us all in messages.
Yeah.
I know.
Like Media Collective things for those clips that we will send to them, and they will say, "You guys have the best clips." I'm like, "Yeah, we do."
Yeah, of course we do, because we have awesome people doing them. But we will see all y'all next week, and thank you again so much for joining us. Have a good one.
Bye.